Welcome to Voice of Reason.
Thank you so much for joining us on the program, Dr. Fapohunda, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
Okay, so when you look at the concept of restructuring has been propounded by many people in Nigeria, it appears people from the southwestern part of the country, I mean the Yorubas, they are the ones that speak more about restructuring. Now, the Southeast is asking perhaps for something totally different. Is it that the Yorubas are the most marginalized in the scheme of things in Nigeria? Or why is the call for restructuring so loud from the Yoruba race?
Well, the experience of the Yorubas in Nigeria began seriously in around 54 to 1960. Yorubas enjoyed autonomy. We enjoyed freedom to do things the way we wanted. That period during which Obafemi Awolowo reigned was the most progressive, the most developmental period in the history of the Yorubas. Other Nigerians did not experience that at all. Yorubas were leading, others were trying to follow. So most other parts of Nigeria have not known good government the way we were going in the 60s until the coup of 1966. So we all have this nostalgia for that period. But for the fact that the Yoruba experience was terminated in 1966, we will have a different kind of nation by now. But let me give a good background for people, for viewers to note. The Yorubas wanted to be on their own. They negotiated with all others. 1954 to 1958, Yoruba negotiated a separate system for themselves, regional government. And we were doing well. We were lucky to have leadership that knew what development was about. In 1966, this negotiated understanding was bleached by Ironsi coup. Since that time, we have been mixed together with, it's like mixing cat and mouse. We have not known the kind of freedom that we enjoyed prior to 1966. It was a military experience, but in 1978-79, the military experience was legitimized by the constitution that was produced under Muritala Obasanjo regime. There's a stamp of approval that we are now mixed together with that section with everybody else. And we've never recovered since then. We've never recovered. All efforts made for us to revert back to our original autonomy as the Yorubas have been divided. Even in those period of 1950s to 1960s, there were those who were following NCNC in Yoruba land. It was Benson, the Akinloye, the Akinjide, those people versus the people in Awolowo side, Bokoyas, the adjacents, the Bolaiges. We have had this division in Yoruba land. That's why it's been very difficult for us to follow the path. It's a matter of ego. The NCNC group, they don't believe that we should not be on our own. They like mainstream politics of Nigeria. They want to be in Abuja. They want to be in power. Majority of Yorubas want to be on their own. And so it's been difficult to persuade those who want to get federal power. This is where we are at this point.
Okay, so which do you think, you've established the fact that there is this division we started long time ago. Which do you think the Yoruba race need at this time? Remaining in Abuja and having the structure restructured, or that Yorubas should be on their own? Which is expedient as we speak?
Well, the point of reference for the Yorubas has been the 1954 to 1966. Those were the Awolowo years. They were the years of progress, the years of rapid development. But those in opposition, those who wanted to join Balewa government that time, they want to form government of national unity. They've not given up. It's a matter of ego. It's just being dogmatic. They just want to be with the federal government. And the reason is that with the oil boom, there was so much resources in the hand of federal government. Federal government is able to attract some Yorubas, give you appointments, give you contracts, we give you oil blocks. So those people still want to be in federal government. Whereas if we're on our own, we have no use for oil at all. We can live on our, we can develop faster without cheating the Niger Delta people. We can do better. But that dichotomy is still raging up now. In Yoruba land now, all our governors, all our politicians just want to be with Abuja. They were all installed. They were all placed on top of all of us, and they are enjoying federal patronage. They are enjoying federal security. So we that want to develop on our own resources, outing across the, they are not in. And the full arrowhead of this issue now is Ahmed Asiwaju Tinubu, is the arrowhead now that says it's my turn, regardless of the impact. It's just riding on the back of the Yoruba nation to achieve his personal ambition, and is not likely to succeed. But then, as Yorubas will say, Tinubu will not hear what we are saying until it's defeated. And let me make a point. He's going the way of MKO. MKO Abiola also worked against Yoruba interest initially because he was promised power by the then MPN government. He went against Yoruba interest. A bit of love for him, he retracts. At the point when he wanted to follow Yoruba interest, he won election, but he was not allowed to. People make reference to this Muslim at that time. People know why God made sure that it's not possible for Abiola to take power. Do people know? He just won, made sure that despite all his winning, the Muslim ticket did not succeed. Did not succeed. So people refer to, Abiola did it. Tinubu must do it. As a human being, I believe that Tinubu will also to grieve, will falter, even if he wins too.
Okay, so do you think that should Asiwaju Bola Tinubu clinch the presidency, if he becomes the president of this country, you have doubt as to whether he will get this country restructured? Are you in doubt about that?
Tinubu will be shackled, he will be manacled, he will not have free hand. Okay, he won primaries and he was told, you are a Muslim, but your being Muslim is not for us. You cannot represent Muslims, our own Muslim on the ticket to represent us. Is that a good sign? I, Ahmed Asiwaju Tinubu, I'm a Muslim. But his master said, your Muslim is not sufficient. So we want our own Muslim on your ticket.
Doctor, are you saying even before the election, there are cabals that are already controlling Asiwaju Bola Tinubu? He's known to be a Jagaban. He's known to be a ferocious person, someone who is fearless, someone who is courageous. So do you see cabals already controlling his activities even before this election?
Look, the first major thing we do was to nominate a vice president. And it was that the way we can support you is to bring a proper Muslim. We cannot trust you as a Muslim to represent our interests if you have a Christian vice president. Is it the same kind of arrangement now that will make Tinubu go and say, look, let us produce a new term that will reduce the powers of the federal government? Will he be able to remove the Inspector General of Police and put an Igbo person there? Will he be able to remove Director of State Security Services and put an Ijaw person there? Will he be able to remove the Chief of Army Staff and put an Urhobo person there? Will he be able to remove the Head of Customs and put an Ibibio person there? Will he be able to remove the Minister of Finance and put a Yoruba person there? Money shows the day. It's very unlikely. It will just be carbon copy of Olusegun Obasanjo, and it will be worse. Obasanjo just came in there, 8 years, 8 wasted years. Obasanjo could not do Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. He could not do the road to Abeokuta. He was president for 8 years. Osinbajo is there, vice president, 8 years. He's even gone silent. Now he's sick, so he's a lame dog vice president. Money shows the day. Tinubu will not be. He will enter to governance. He will plead for time. He will spend 6 months to do his cabinet. And before we know it, not good. I'm not God. It's not good.
But doctor,
something happens to him.
The issue is that there are those who believe that is our local concept speaks to the necessity of Yoruba becoming the president of this country at this time. And one of the reasons why they feel this man should be given support, being a Yoruba man and him being a Yoruba project at this time, is the fact that the Yoruba race will be able to champion the cause of restructuring and force him to do the needful in that regards, since it is one project that is important to the Yoruba nation.
Yorubas never believed in our local and federal government. Yorubas wanted to be on our own. If Tinubu deployed all the resources to even fight for restructuring, Nigeria would have been restructured. Don't forget that in 1962, there was an Awolowo action. The meeting was that should Yoruba join the government and become government of national unity, the vote in Jos was that Yoruba should be on their own and not join the federal government. And at that time, the mainstream Yorubas preferred to be on their own. The Yorubas, Akin Tos Benson, Adinogun Sanya, they chose to go and take federal government appointment. What did the result? Tinubu tried to say turn by turn is just personal aggrandizement. It's not, Yoruba don't want to be in the federal government. If somebody like Sardauna, he sent Balewa to federal government, he was said in his own region, in the northern region. Our first 11 be in Oduduwa region, be in Abuja. That is just in Yorubas. Business being mixed up with the Igbos and with the Fulanis. Let everybody run their own affair the way they wish.
Okay, so if I got you right, someone would, at this point in time, want to know your own definition of restructuring. Someone who has been following this program would say that perhaps you are talking about secession.
There are two modalities. But what is the objective? What is the goal? Goal is that Bas want to be on their own. They want to govern themselves, but they will remain neighbors to other Nigerians. You cannot cut Yoruba land and take it to the Atlantic Ocean. We will still remain where we are. We want to remain good neighbors to the Jos, to the Igbos, to the Nupe, to the Baggies. We want to remain good neighbors. So how do we achieve that? There are two ways. We can declare now that from October 1, 2022, Yoruba nation will be on its own. Just declaring. Do we have the means to enforce it? Even the problem will not be from other Nigerians. The problem will be from the Yoruba themselves. Because the governors that are there now, they will not step aside. They are sitting on the throne. They are enjoying security votes from above. They only pay small salaries to staff. All other money is under their control. So even if the federal government say, okay, oh yeah, you go away, these governors will not go away. They want to remain in sharing the money Delta from Niger Delta. The other alternative is for us to make all the efforts to negotiate protocols that will grant Yorubas autonomy to be on their own. We have to negotiate it. We cannot use force to just declare it. People don't know. If you on October 1, we cannot even, look, we can't just cut off oil money from immediate effect. We need 2 to 3 years of gradually phasing out oil revenue. We now have to start developing our own means of survival. People don't know. Declare Yoruba nation tomorrow. That means crude money from Niger Delta will stop from that day. It has to stop. So it's even in our interest to negotiate with the rest of Nigeria a 2-3 year transition where you'll be given autonomy to start managing your affairs. But we have set up a process of creating tolls on the roads. We have to create a process of financial management that will make us be on our own. You cannot declare it and manage it. What am I saying? Therefore, the transitional period is what we need to do. Those who are advocating Yoruba nation tomorrow, they are not thinking beyond their nose at all. In summary, restructuring is negotiated exit Nigeria with a transition period. Declaring Yoruba nation is unilateral action. You have to prepare for war. In fact, our friends from the East, they would love for us to declare it so that they can fight us. I know that for sure.
Let's look at where we were. The period you quoted earlier on when Awolowo had sway and when we had some nationalists from the Yoruba nation joining hands with the then federal government, taking up federal appointment and working against the interest of Awolowo. What we had at that time, would you say it's the best the Yoruba nation could ever add?
If we think properly, we have to redesign the government for Yoruba land afresh. We are no longer a unitary, though we are all Yorubas, but we now know that there are Ijebus, there are Ijesha, Seki, there is Ondo, Tilaje, there is Igbomina, there is Okun. We now have to work out a new federal governance system for Yorubas that will grant autonomy for everybody that wants it, even Yoruba land. We cannot run the unitary government that Awolowo ran in his time. In his time, they were saying, oh, Ijebus were in control. They were in control. But Awolowo was fair-minded. He did not cite OAU in Ikenne. He did not put Cocoa House in Ikenne. He did not put Liberty Stadium in Ikenne. He did not put Ikeja in Red State in Ogun State. With all his inadequacies, large heart, and was fair-minded. But we need to do even far more because now everybody is aware. And that's the reason why we need to have negotiated exit. As we negotiated with the rest of Nigeria to be separate, we need to negotiate inside Yoruba land too to make sure that Ibadans will not feel oppressed by the Jebus, to make sure that the Kitis will not feel marginalized by the Ibadan people. Ijeshas will not feel above the Osun people. So we actually have a two-stage initiative. We are really serious. It's not a motive to say Yoruba nation, no. We have to negotiate the nature of Yoruba nation. We have to negotiate the nature of our relations with other Nigerians. And this requires too much thinking.
What is it that the Yoruba nation or the Yoruba race stands to benefit if this country is restructured? And I want you to be very practical this time around. Okay, this will happen, and that will happen. Doctor.
First of all, when you mix mice with cats, it's not a fair relationship. Yorubas are different from our friends who are Igbos. We are just different. Yorubas are different from Fulanis. We cannot just coexist in the same room. We need a little breathing space. Yorubas are fun-loving, but we also hard workers. Our friends in the East, they are traders. They want to buy and sell. Our friends in the North, the whole religion as 100% way of life. These traits make us to be totally different. In fact, the influence of being mixed together with the Fulani and the Igbos, we are not able to be ourselves. Everybody believes anything goes. Yoruba believe in mutual respect between young and old. Our Omoluabi traits, you value your family name. You will not do anything that will make your family name to be insulted. But in Nigeria, anything goes, corruption goes. So we will be able to, if we are on our own, we enforce our own culture for Omoluabi, and we will develop rapidly. Secondly, our leaders in Yoruba land now, they are all in. So they don't listen to us. The governor of Lagos doesn't listen to any Yoruba person now. He's just on his own. Governor of Ekiti State, they are all beholden to their masters in Abuja. They are not accountable to us at all. But when we have a Yoruba favored governance, nobody can hide to say, oh, Abuja, Abuja, Abuja again. We were able to police ourselves.
Who will champion the cause of this restructuring as things stand now? And what is the format that it's going to take? Who will these ones be talking to negotiate this restructuring?
That is the greatest challenge that we have. I'll be honest on this platform. The arrowhead of restructuring is the Akin organization that follow. But the organization have been weakened. All they are holding on to now is the principle. They don't know how to go about it. So there's a vacuum in Yoruba land now of credible leadership. It's now a challenge to all of us who knows the truth. We have to engineer a new Yoruba land. The way we have been doing it before is for 6-7 people to form themselves. Yoruba Parapo. They are no more than 10. And they will just say, oh, this, the leader is Akintoye, our leader is Ajasin, our leader is this. There is no grassroots ownership. There has to be a system now. We have to form a socio-political organization that will represent every strata of Yoruba land, that will command respect. That platform we have, Igomina there, we have Okun there, we have Ilaje there, we have Ijesha there, we have Ijebu there. When we see the people who are involved, we have to command the respect of Yorubas, and then we have to be able to overcome the Yoruba class. It's warfare. The people are really now, they're happy to make us to be slaves in Yoruba land. We are slaves. When did the Oyo State government publish the budget last? When did they know how much they award contracts? Who knows how much Akeredolu spends in those states? Who knows? They just say they pay salary, they pay pension. That's all. All of that money coming in, nobody knows. That's the worst form of slavery now. To change that system, internal warfare in Yoruba land, when we have even defeated the other part of Nigeria, the internal war in Yoruba land will take years because we can bring about democracy and bring about rule of law. It's a big challenge.
All right. I must say a big thank you to you, Dr. Fapohunda, for your time on the program this morning. It's been interesting. We pray that God will lead our leaders right in the Yoruba nation so that they can, run with all of this suggestion of yours. Thank you so much for your time on the program.